Hi everybody, welcome back to Aldebrass, where we are designed to endure, styled to welcome. On this glorious Saturday afternoon here in Virginia, Zone 7B, we're taking on a quick and easy project today. We're going to talk a little bit about potting, and to be more specific, actually we're going to be repotting today. And so looking at our patio back here, we have some gorgeous, just awesome teddy bear magnolias. Aren't they the sweetest tree? And yes, they are a tree. They are a dwarf size magnolia tree. So they'll be contained a bit. And because they don't have the growing habits of your traditional magnolia trees, we are going to let these pups thrive in the containers for a couple of years. That's right. And so when we originally planted them, they came in about a 12-inch gallon, like a 12-inch pot, which was fine. We bumped it up a couple of inches for the pot that we were putting it in, the container. It's a nice terracotta pot, but it is 15 inches. And there was enough space to actually even allow us to plant some geraniums for some color interest along with the teddy bear magnolia trees. However, one thing about containers, these are not attached to drip, so you have to water them frequent amount of time. They like a lot of water. And what we realized is because the plant is very close to the size of the pot, it needs a lot more water than we're willing and able to keep up with. What we actually notice is that more of the water is running off and not actually having enough time to be absorbed by the tree. So, introducing new container. These bad boys are 18 inches in circumference. That's going to give us not a huge amount of space, and we don't want it to be too big, but enough growing capacity and enough opportunity for us to really give this tree a lot of rich soil to surround it. It's going to help with temperature and moisture control. There's a drainage hole, so we'll still get some optimal drainage in it. But hopefully we won't have to water as frequently. Long, deep soak watering schedule, probably every other day, is what our goal is. Of course, we are in Virginia, so when we get into the heat of summer, yes, we'll be probably watering these every day, if not twice a day on those double-digit days. But for the most part, every other day is what our goal is, and I think we will achieve it with this pot. It is a very deep pot as well. And so we also want those roots to have an opportunity to sink down deeper as they are establishing. If we can get 2 years, 2 summers with these trees and the pots, I think we would have achieved our goal. I'm also excited too because right now we have some salmon geraniums. They are doing so well, but I think with the extra space, maybe, just maybe, we'll even add some more color interest. So we have two of these that we're going to be working on replanting. Here are the tools of the trade. I have a transplanter that's going to help me easily scoop up these beautiful geraniums without disrupting the roots too much. We also have a cultivator, and this is a double edge, which is going to really help me kind of ease the teddy bear trees out of the pots. I don't want to crack these beautiful terracotta pots. So that's my goal. And finally, I don't think we're going to need them, but I always have them close by, my handy dandy pruners. All right, and so with a little bit of beautiful dirt, we're just going to do an all-purpose blend of organic soil. I have my bucket to kind of store the little flowers, the delicate beauties, while we get after it. So come and join me. So really gentle. These pups, these geraniums, they have only been in here a couple of weeks, maybe since early May, and we are entering in the last week of May. So, and there were no buds when we first got them. They were just little tiny leaves, but again, not an extensive root system yet. So into the bucket, nice and gentle. Now, transplanters aren't the only tool you can use, and honestly, I could probably remove enough soil and get in here with my hands, but you don't always have shallow plants. So some plants, like a sweet potato vine, or ivy, they might not look like the root system is extensive, but they root out pretty quickly. So it just helps you to keep it nice and clean without messing up their overall root system too much. Our goal is to be able to transplant them and it will look like nothing ever happened. And this is actually my first season really exploring with geraniums.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna start to put some soil in here.
You see already. Trying also not to disturb the root system of the teddy bear. What I want to explore, if I can get my hands on them, are scented geraniums. They're hard to find, or maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. But I heard that scented geraniums have the most beautiful fragrance, and I'm very interested. So if I come across them, they're definitely going to be added to the family. There we go. That's number 3. One more to go for this pup. And then Lamar will come in and do the heavy lifting.
These pots are pretty big, so they're gonna take quite a bit of dirt.
Yeah. We added the mulch in there too, right?
Yeah, that's at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Lovely.
I think it's gonna give them enough space to grow a little bit, kind of breathe. And like Tara was saying, we'll try to have these at least through this summer, maybe through the end of next summer, something like that. Unless we just decide to do another small tree or shrub or something of that nature.
Yeah.
We could always change it up. The great thing about all of this and using little small trees and shrubs is it helps give some height, some depth, even color, because these magnolias have some white blossoms, some white blooms. So that's really nice. It's a nice touch. It gives some color and all of those things, some height. So it's just really nice. We enjoy it. It really gives a lot of options. Not just having, small plants or, flowers or something like that. It just really kind of gives you some depth there. And it turns out really nice. So we'll give you all a chance to see what this is going to look like once we get it in. Give you a really good idea. Yeah. Yep, she's in there pretty tight.
You want this one?
Let's see how we can get in here. And this is the thing that we were afraid of. It was just going to be too tight. You really want to give it an opportunity to have some space to grow. So we're just
Yeah.
loosening up the soil here a little bit. It should be easier to take out, and we definitely want to keep this pot. If it breaks, it's okay, but we would like to keep it if we can.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yep.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Cool beans.
It's not really root bound, but pull it up really quickly. You could kind of tell, if you turn it around, it was already starting to get that circular motion. And that's what you do not want, because then it will choke itself out. And at that point, it's only a matter of time. So, healthy environment. But look at those roots. I'm happy.
And we can use some of this soil too.
And then top off with that, and then we'll move that soil into here. Where we're using this soil, because this is fresh soil. We only started these pots about, like I said, at the top of May.
We got some good earthworms in here. Look at that. That's great.
Earthworms are our friends.
It's good stuff. I
Hi,
don't know how they
buddy.
find their way into
Hi.
these pots, but that's pretty cool.
There you go. Do your job. Do your work. Oh, babes, did we put biotone?
Yeah, I put it in already.
Okay. We've added some biotone
I put it in there initially already.
into the dirt. Sometimes we put it just close to the roots at the bottom.
We can finish it off with this here.
And I'm just bringing up the plant just a little bit.
Yeah, this is going to turn out really nice. It's already given some nice height.
Yep.
All right, step back, oops.
Uh,
Move your arm so I can put this in. It's really nice. That's probably good, right?
yep.
You don't
And
want too
again,
much.
we don't want too much in. Just like if you were planting it in the ground, we don't want too much soil at that base. Now, interesting enough, once we start watering it and it gets established in the pot, we might come back in and add some more soil.
Because it's going to settle a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see what's what as it rains and all that good stuff. But yeah, that looks really great.
Yeah.
Looks real good. All right, so I'm going to move that pot out of the way.
Okay. And I think for now, I might group these a little bit closer.
Yeah, be careful with that one.
Right here. I think I'm going to come over here. I'm not going to spread it out as much. Like a nice little cluster.
Okay.
So there you have it. We have finished up our project of the day, and that was to switch out our containers, give our teddy bear magnolia trees a bit of breathing room, growing room, also adding some impact and visual interest to the patio area. And so if you remember, we had our terracotta pots. We loved them. They were just too small for the trees. We're trying to have these trees in these containers for about 2 years, and I am ecstatic. What about you, Lamar?
I love it. I love it. I think we'll probably end up changing it. I don't know if we're having it in there for 2 years, but you know.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully, because they'll grow and they'll just be so happy that we'll have to move it into the back and get it in the ground. I'm okay with that because that gives us opportunity to explore and try some new things.
Yeah.
Speaking of new things, I'm loving the white. I'm not going to lie. And so right now, yes, a stark contrast to the terracotta. However, we have a lot of browns. We have a lot of taupes, beige, gray kind of feels. Our house is like a linen cream. But the reason why I like the white is because it is connecting. It's not just this abstract piece of art. There are echoes throughout the garden that are going to help us tie in this white. For example, we have our end tables that are more of a white with speckled gray than it is beige. Also, the trim of our house, from the gutters to the doors to the window frames, are bright white. And even when you look out into the back area, our rocks, our boulders, well, our small boulders, tend to read more white than anything else. And so there are echoes throughout the garden, and that's what you want. And once we finish wrapping up our redesign for summer 25, while we have a lot of pink explosion happening, we're going to bring in some Grease vibes. That's right. We're going to bring in some blue and white pillows. So again, those will reflect the white and have an anchor in these beautiful containers. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be just gorgeous.
I love it. I love it. I love, the way it turned out. It just looks really good. They're much taller than the terracotta pots as well. So I think it turned out really nice. And your eye immediately goes to it. And I love how the tree just gives some nice height. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool. I'm loving it.
And it gives us room. We're always thinking ahead of the game, right? So this is for right now, but anything you do, whether it's in your hardscape, whether it's in your landscape, you want to think down the road a bit. So down the road, this now gives me a little bit more space if I want to add more flowers or more blooms or a different type of structure with the blooms. This white canvas gives me an opportunity to consider thrillers, which I really couldn't really, well, not thrillers, but spillers, right? So those are like your creeping jennies that we have in the front, or some ivy that is echoed in the round pot with our juniper tree. The beautiful thing about the height is now you do have room and space, vertical space, to have some foliage spilling out if we want. We could also bring the terracotta pots back in here, and now we'd have a stacked or a layered
kind of layer
floral design.
Yep. Yep.
And that's a beautiful way too, because sometimes as we get into summer, you start seeing deeper colors, that early fall, and oftentimes the blooms are still doing well and you feel bad, like you want to start bringing in the different plants for the season, but you just don't want to get rid of the plants that you have that are still thriving. Well, having a layered container moment or vignette as a way to keep that interest going throughout the seasons. And so, yeah, I think job well done. It's wonderful. It's amazing when sometimes you need those small projects, those tiny tasks that give big impact and make you just want to say, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a high five. Well done. And Lamar, I think today was a well done.
Yeah, well done for sure. I love it.
So thanks so much for joining us. Welcome. We're always welcome to have you with us as we grow together, as we learn together, as we thrive in our gardens. So I'm Tara.
I'm Lamar.
This is All the Brass. We'll see you soon.
Take care, guys.